My name is Mark Johnson, and I used to be a skeptic when it came to the supernatural. I always believed that there was a logical explanation for everything, that the strange and eerie occurrences people spoke of were nothing more than tricks of the mind or mere coincidences. That was until my family and I moved into the old Victorian house in San Jose. It was the summer of 2022 when we bought the house. My wife, Laura, and our 10-year-old daughter, Emily, were excited about the move. The house was everything we had ever dreamed of: spacious, charming, and full of character. We imagined ourselves creating beautiful memories in our new home. Little did we know that our dream house would soon turn into a living nightmare. The day we moved in, the sun was shining, and the neighborhood was bustling with activity. Our neighbors greeted us warmly, welcoming us to the community. As we unpacked our belongings and started to settle in, there was an air of excitement and anticipation. Emily ran from room to room, exploring every nook and cranny, her laughter echoing through the halls. The first few days were uneventful, filled with the usual chaos of moving. We were busy arranging furniture, hanging pictures, and getting to know our new surroundings. The house felt warm and inviting, and we quickly fell into a comfortable routine. But it wasn't long before strange things began to happen. It started with small, almost imperceptible occurrences. Doors would creak open on their own, and cold drafts would sweep through the house even though it was the middle of summer. At first, we dismissed these things as quirks of an old house. But as the days went on, the incidents became more frequent and more unsettling. One night, as we sat in the living room watching TV, we heard a loud crash from the kitchen. We rushed in to find all the drawers and cabinets open. Their contents spilled onto the floor. Emily stood frozen in the doorway, her eyes wide with fear. "Daddy, what happened?" she whispered. I tried to reassure her, telling her it was probably just a strong breeze or the house settling. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. The next morning, I found strange symbols scratched into the wood of the basement door. I had never seen anything like them before, and they filled me with a sense of dread. Things escalated quickly after that. Laura began having vivid nightmares about an old man with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. She would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat. Emily started talking about an invisible friend she had met in the house. She described him as an old man who liked to play tricks and hide her toys. One evening, while Laura was preparing dinner, she felt a cold hand grip her shoulder. She spun around, expecting to see me or Emily, but there was no one there. The feeling of being watched became constant, and we couldn't shake the sense of dread that hung over the house. Desperate for answers, I started researching the history of the house. I discovered that it had been built in the late 1800s by a man named Samuel Blackwood. Blackwood was a reclusive figure, rumored to have been involved in dark rituals and black magic. He had died under mysterious circumstances, and the house had a long history of strange occurrences and unexplained deaths. I contacted a local historian named Sarah, who specialized in the occult. When she visited the house, she immediately sensed a dark presence. "There is something very old and very evil here," she said. She explained that the symbols I had found were ancient runes used to summon and bind demonic entities. Sarah suggested a cleansing ritual to banish the demonic presence. She prepared a mixture of herbs and holy water, and we set up candles in the basement, where the presence felt strongest. As she began the ritual, the temperature dropped drastically and the whispers grew louder. Shadowy figures appeared in the corners of the room, their eyes glowing with malevolence. It felt like the house itself was alive, watching us, waiting for us to fail. The ritual was intense. Sarah chanted in a language I couldn't understand, and the shadows grew more agitated. Suddenly, a blinding light filled the basement, and a deafening scream echoed through the house. The shadows recoiled, and then everything went still. The oppressive feeling that had plagued the house was gone, replaced by a sense of peace and calm. In the following days, the strange occurrences stopped. The house felt lighter, more welcoming. We made renovations, painting the walls and bringing in new furniture, transforming it into a home filled with love and laughter. The memory of the demonic presence haunted us, but we were grateful to have reclaimed our house from its dark influence. Life went on, and we tried to put the experience behind us, but the encounter with the supernatural left an indelible mark on our family. It taught us the importance of faith, courage, and the power of love in overcoming darkness. We never spoke of the demonic presence again, but we kept a photograph of Sarah and her book of spells in our living room, a reminder of the battle we had fought and won. As the years passed, we settled into our lives in the house. Emily grew up, went to school, and made friends in the neighborhood. The house, once a place of fear and dread, became a sanctuary for our family. We hosted holidays, birthday parties, and family gatherings, filling the rooms with joy and laughter. But every now and then, something would remind us of the demonic presence. A cold draft would sweep through a room, a door would creak open on its own, or a faint whisper would echo in the hallway. We would look at each other, a silent understanding passing between us, and then we would carry on, knowing that we had faced the darkness and come out stronger. One evening, years after the cleansing ritual, I was sitting in the living room reading a book. The house was quiet, with Laura and Emily out for the evening. As I turned a page, I heard a faint whisper. I looked up, my heart pounding, and saw a shadowy figure standing in the doorway. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice trembling. The figure stepped forward, and I could see that it was not the demonic presence. It was the ghostly apparition of a woman, her eyes filled with sadness. "Help me," she whispered. I stood up, my fear replaced by a sense of determination. "What do you need?" I asked. She pointed towards the basement, and then she disappeared. I grabbed a flashlight and headed downstairs, my heart racing. As I reached the bottom of the stairs, I saw the ghostly figure again, standing by the far wall. Hindi poin giya to anakanda, spot on fought, on the smite on the floor, and then she vanished. I moved some boxes aside and found a loose floorboard. I pried it up and discovered a small, dusty box hidden underneath. Inside the box were old letters and photographs, revealing a tragic story. The woman had been Samuel Blackwood's wife, who had died under mysterious circumstances, her spirit trapped in the house, along with the demonic presence. I contacted Sarah again, and we performed another cleansing ritual, this time to free the woman's spirit. As we completed the ritual, the basement filled with a warm, comforting light, and the ghostly figure appeared once more, smiling with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, and then she was gone. From that day on, the house was truly at peace. The whispers stopped, the cold draft ceased, and the sense of being watched vanished. We had freed the spirits trapped in our home, and we could finally move forward without the shadow of the past hanging over us. Our lives continued, filled with love, happiness, and the occasional memory of the supernatural battles we had faced. We knew that the house held a special place in our hearts, a place where we had overcome darkness and found the strength to protect our family. And so our story became one of resilience, courage, and the unbreakable bond of family. We had faced the demonic presence, freed the trapped spirits, and transformed a haunted house into a home filled with light and love. It was a journey we would never forget, a testament to the power of faith and the enduring strength of the human spirit.